You want to be ready. Reader, listener, email. A nigga from Los Angeles writes to BossMack. He say, BossMack, I'm a 32-year-old nigga out here getting to my chili as a refining engineer at an oil refinery out here. I relocated from Houston, Texas for this position last year in August. I'm getting used to the LA environment. I had a few bitches in rotation as soon as I touched down. However, this year in February, I met a really cool bitch, a 27-year-old bad bitch that works at LAX cleaning planes. She also braids hair. We hung out a few times. She had really good energy. I started catching feelings for a bitch. She lives in Carson, and she have a cool two-bedroom house, and she drove a 2001 Scat, which I thought was impressive for a bitch. It took me about a month to fuck, and the pussy was great. I was really enjoying a bitch. Then one day we went to Venice Beach one Saturday. And while we were out there walking around, we bumped into a nigga that knew my bitch. And he was also with this bitch. And she also knew my bitch. My bitch's demeanor changed some. The nigga smiled and saluted my bitch. We engaged in a little small talk, and then we were on our way. A few minutes after leaving them, my bitch said she didn't like the nigga or the bitch. They were all from the same neighborhood. I was like, okay, whatever, and we kept it pushing. Bro, 2 days later, I called to check on a bitch while I was at lunch at work, and a bitch told me that her car burnt up in her driveway. I was like, wow. I asked her if she had insurance. She said she did. I told her don't let it get her down. She will bounce back. I hit her up after work and pulled up on her. Her car burning up was really some bizarre shit to me. I had been thinking about that shit since she told me. I was thinking she might have done an insurance lick on herself. Anyways, when I got to her crib, she told me what she thinks happened to her car. She said her ex-nigga is in the feds 3 years into doing a 20-year situation. The nigga we bumped into at the beach was one of his bros from his section. He saw us looking like we were in love at the beach, and he put in a call to old boy, and he called her talking shit, and they had a huge argument. It was his money that purchased her car and helped her get her house. Long story short, she thinks old boy might have had some of his YNs come and destroy the car. Another twist was that after the insurance paid off her car, she only had 3 racks to get another car. BossMack, this shit kind of blew my mind. It made me leery to deal with this bitch. What are your thoughts on this? I feel like it's tricky fucking with her. Hit the like button for this game. It's a lot of drama out here, bro. It's a lot of drama out here, bro. Things be too good to be true. Man, LA is tricky, bro. Like, you know, like I said, man, when you meet a bitch, you know, you gotta take your time and try to figure out what's going on, man. It's in you know, always expect the unexpected. You know what I'm saying? You know, the way I see it, I know you might be having good feelings for a bitch. You know, you have good feelings for a bitch. She's fun. You're hanging out with her and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you always gotta think about yourself first. Like, you know, is it too much danger involved in this? You know what I'm saying? Do I want to go the distance behind a bitch? You know what I'm saying? You know, I find that most bad bitches out here have some kind of like gangster attachment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, man, more. I mean, even like professional good bitches, like a bitch to be like a teacher or something, and she still have like some gangster strings attached to a bitch. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, shit just ain't really worth all the trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta be like, you know what? I'm just out here trying to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to live my life. She's a cool bitch. I had some fun with her, but it's a lot of stuff going on. You got a nigga that done helped her get a house, done bought her the car. You know what I'm saying? You know, unless you ready to, you know, see, and then sometimes too, man, I find that a bitch need to be liberated from a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? A bitch need to be liberated. What do I mean by that? Another nigga that have an attachment to a bitch, he didn't. This is my bitch aggressively. You know what I'm saying? And then you really gotta come in and be willing to go the distance to liberate a bitch from this nigga. And you know, sometimes a nigga see that you serious about her liberation, and he'll fall back. And then sometimes, you know, niggas is that, you know, sometimes niggas is like, bitch ain't getting liberated. You know what I'm saying? You can't liberate a bitch. You know what I'm saying? I done invested too much into this bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, hey man, what can you do, man? Like, you know, now with this bitch, you know, like I said, you know, a nigga have penalized the bitch possibly. We don't know, you know, but it seemed like it. A nigga have penalized the bitch, take a car away. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, he feel like he helped her get the house. You know what I'm saying? You know, so if you gonna continue to fuck with that bitch, I would not go over her house. You know what I'm saying? I would not go over her house. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go over the bitch house. You know what I'm saying? She would have to always come visit me, and then, you know, I suggest you arm yourself out here. If you're not already armed, you need to arm yourself. You need to arm yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you know, be prepared for stupidity. I mean, if you know, and I'm not, you know, and just move like that. I would not be at that bitch house, you know, sleep naked, none of that. I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, you know. Just on the strength that a nigga felt like he got the bitch the house, you know what I'm saying? Even though he's locked up or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you know. And I will move like that. You know what I'm saying? And niggas is diabolical. Niggas be feeling like, you know, you know, niggas feel like they put a bitch on, you know. A lot of these niggas, you know, niggas be feeling like they help the bitch a whole lot, and you know, hey man, ain't no ain't no you know, you can't have no niggas at the house, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know, indentured servitude, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, do you and is it really still her ex nigga? That's what she told you. That's, you know, you don't even know what the truth is. You know what I'm saying? If he that might still be his bitch. She just told you it's ex. You know what I'm saying? It might still be his bitch in his mind. You know what I'm saying? You know. You know. Hit the like button for this guy. And I know you probably was like, damn, bitch, you work at the airport and you braid hair and you got a house and a scat. Damn, bitch. You doing pretty good, bitch. Damn. Man, you know. Yeah, man, these bitches, man, they be having tricks up the sleeve, man. They be having tricks up the sleeve, man. You be like, God damn, this bitch had a trick up the sleeve. I wasn't even ready for that.